So you just brought up something I think a lot of people are more aware of is like their presence and how they show up in a room or how they show up with people. And they want to make sure that they're giving off a positive vibe or one that is open and friendly or loving or magnetic. How can we start to change that field before or just as we're entering a room? If, we've lived a life and we've had ups and downs and sadness and grief and things that have maybe put holes in our field, how do we improve that?
The place that everybody is trying to get to is presence, is the liberty to be fully present, to not be carrying around emotional baggage, trauma that still has charge, fear about the future, or social anxiety, or the big one that everybody carries around with them wherever they go, just feeling like they're not enough, that they're not good enough, that they're not beautiful enough, that they're not successful enough. It's a mind virus that's really infected everyone, and it drives a busy mind, it drives insecurities, it drives anxiety, it drives irregular breathing patterns. So what we're aiming for is just the ability to rest comfortably in our own skin in this moment, and maybe even enjoy ourselves, right? And you can always tell people who have an inner stillness and how attractive that is because they're curious, they ask questions, they listen deeply and fully, right? That's all that we want. That's what kids want from their parents. It's what pets want from their pet owners. It's just a quality of attention that really speaks to being fully here now.
That is perfectly said. And you can feel that and see that when you meet somebody who is really balanced in their body. So if someone's listening to this and they're thinking, I want everything that you and I are talking about, how do they get there? Do they need to start having sessions with someone that does the biofield tuning forks on them? Do they need to learn it by themselves? Are there other things that they need to start applying in their life in order to create that balance in their body, that frequency balance?
Well, the whole aim of sound healing, and it's been a modality in every continent and every age, whether it's a temple bell or a gong or singing bowls or wind chimes or chanting, is to bring us to this relaxed, aware presence, right? That's any sound tool will do, even humming or whistling, or just being very mindful of how you're using your own voice and the tone that you're using, where it's coming from in your body. Right? We can soothe ourselves with our own voice. So first and foremost, you don't have to go out and buy anything because breath and voice alone and mind really has the power to bring you there. But a lot of us were pretty damaged, and so tools and interventions can also help, right? And I've found the tuning forks to be super useful tools for bringing us into that present moment awareness. Certainly receiving biofield tuning, my life started changing when I trained my very first students. And I started receiving tuning, like all the problems that I was stuck with, trying really hard to solve, I started to be able to solve with tuning. So, and I've seen this with many, many people because they're just stuck in wiring loops and nervous system patterning. It's very hard to change from the inside. If you've had a lot of trauma, you need someone to help you pull your dents. If you're really stuck in a ditch, you need to call a tow truck, And so I was certainly very, very, very stuck and got pulled out. And I've helped thousands of people out of the ditches that they're stuck in. But I also want people to really understand that you can start where you are with what you've got, just with your own voice and breath.